asked which team's level of success was the toughest to predict, this is what general managers said. 17% said the Los Angeles Lakers. David's already thrown up his hands. They're followed by the Rockets, the Pelicans, and the Suns. The GMs can't figure it out, but it's a good thing it's our job here to make all sorts of predictions. So, Mr. Windhorst, help us figure this out.
I actually think the Lakers are relatively easy to predict. I think they're probably headed for the play-in, which is where they were last year. They've got roughly the same team coming back. We'll see with health. And last year, AD and LeBron actually had two extremely healthy seasons. I don't think it's possible for them to play more games than they did last year, if you're looking at it honestly. I think the other three teams on the list, I do agree. I do think the Rockets have a high variance. I do think the Pelicans, depending on what they do, have a high variance. And the Suns are maybe the face of this question, is you have no idea. They could win the West, or they could be in the play-in themselves. So I was just surprised by this. I don't know. Maybe they just felt like the Lakers have to be mentioned on something, so they put them up there.
I'm not surprised, Wendy. The reason that they're the toughest team to predict, and that's why they was voted so high, is because Anthony Davis is the toughest player to predict. You don't know what you're going to get out of him. You don't know if he's going to be available because of his injury history. And on top of that, I get it. Did he have an outstanding season last season? Yes, he did. But it wasn't an MVP caliber season, right? Can he raise his level of play to MVP season? He's in the middle of his prime. Can he get back into that conversation with Giannis, right? At one point, we was comparing AD and Giannis. Who was the best? Right now, it's Giannis, and AD is playing catch-up. Like, it's J.J. Redick. Again, got rid of Darvin Ham. What is J.J. Redick going to do differently to put AD in position, and is AD going to embrace it?
Well, that's exactly why the Lakers are easy to predict. We know what AD is. The GM said it themselves where they were. It was what came out to me was that he was not high on the Defensive Player of the Year rankings. He was not high on the Power Forward rankings. There is a clear delineation between the bigs of Jokic and Giannis and then AD. We may have seen even the peak of AD. I don't think that he is raising to that level. He had a great season last year. That may be the best we're going to get out of this guy. And even still, he is not at the high level as some of these other guys. And because we know that, that is why I'm not surprised. I don't have no, question about where this team is going to be. We're looking at another play-in year for the Lakers, another possible play-in win, and an early playoff exit, which is what we've seen for the last few years.
I think I'm a little bit higher on Anthony Davis than you two are. Go ahead, Perk.
Time out. The Lakers did go to the Western Conference Finals 2 years ago. They just ran into a team that has their number in the Denver Nuggets.
They were playing team that year, too.
They were a play-in team. They're a play-in team. They're a perennial play-in team. That's what the Lakers do with AD and LeBron. Since the bubble, they go play-in. We worry about their health. They get into the playoffs and they lose.
Since the Westbrook trade.
Since the Westbrook trade, yes.
Jimmy with the heat, I'm on fire. It's NBA,